Once the entire panel is where it needs to be as far as shape and everything, then I hit it with some primer in order to get like what some people refer to as like a candy coat, over the whole thing, so all the different materials kind of get unified into one surface. And then it takes a little bit of hand sanding. Trim pieces for the grills, I had to hand sand each trim piece, and it's just really, really repetitive. I mean, as much as you love the artistry and the craftsmanship of doing this stuff, sometimes doing the repetitive things, doing that same thing over and over and over again is a little rough. Doing everything 5 times, pressing grills 5 times, sanding the trim pieces 5 times, and painting them 5 times, just all of it. So, yeah, that part sucked. We have to take in account that there's going to be material on a lot of these pieces, so I have to go through and gap all of the trim pieces, because it's not, if it's designed to fit flush right now, once we put material in there like the suede, it's going to take up some space on both sides of the trim piece, and then it won't fit anymore. So throw it back on the router, trim off the outer edge, take up just the thickness of what that material will be, and then everything fits in nicely. The most rewarding part of any build for me is upholstery. Not because I particularly think upholstery is the most fun part of it, but to me, when you're doing paint or upholstery, it's when all the work and you've been imagining this thing in your head for, well, in this case, probably about 2 weeks. You've been imagining in your head what this is gonna look like. And then right when you start putting that material down, you start trimming off the edges, that's when you start to see like, okay, this is the result of all of my work. This is what it's going to look like now. And it's a great feeling of satisfaction to see it come together, particularly when you're doing something like suede. Suede and vinyl, for some reason, they just look so good when it goes on those little curves and stuff like that, So a lot of satisfaction in that.
So while Dan is in the back sanding a few things, which might take some time, I'm going to go ahead and teach you guys a little bit about the system architecture going on in this Jeep. System architecture is something that we feel is very important. It is extremely underrated, and it's something that should not be taken lightly and just throwing a bunch of products at a car and install them and it's done. In this particular vehicle, we use the Arc Audio PS8. So coming out of the digital sound processor, we have 8 channels going out to 3 different amplifiers. In this particular vehicle, we chose the Moscone Gladen 1001, 250.2, and 130.4. So in the system architecture, on the 130.4, channels 1 and 2 are running the front tweeters, which are hybrid audio Legadia L1V2 housingless. Channels 3 and 4 are running the rear doors passively on a set of hybrid audio Imagine 6.5 components. The 250.2 is running the front mid basses, which are hybrid audio Legadia L6V2s. Finally, the 1000.1 is running the subwoofer in the back. We upgraded the customer stealth box to house a new hybrid audio Claris sub. So the system architecture is designed to maximize the tunability over each speaker in the audio system. We'll get into this deeper in further episodes.
So basically the way that the trim piece went in is I bolted it, I had the headliner down, I bolted it into several mounting points that I had into the outer trim piece, and then put the headliner up and then bolted the trim piece into the amp rack, because I had built some spacers there. So that bolted hard into the amp rack, and then the grill trim piece bolts into that. So then that went up above into there. All right, so I get to put the final piece in, and it's usually just a simple pressure fit trim piece, and kind of sets everything off. I should really put these seats down, you think? It's ridiculous. Great video here, Dan. Great video. So I get to put the final trim piece in now. And usually it's a big moment because it's the final component. And as soon as it's on, you get to see it in all its glory, and you just imagined it all the way up to this point. So this is a big moment. Client's on his way in. I'm putting this guy up here right now. Just made it a few minutes ago. Template fits, so hopefully this fits too. It'd be ridiculous if it didn't. It would suck so much. A little tight in the corner. Good. You kind of want it to be tight there. Otherwise, it'll fall out. Nice. All right. All right. Now we get to pull the backing off. See what it looks like. The client was ecstatic with the results. I got a fist bump and a hug out of it, so that's always nice. Having the pictures and being able to look back at the build and remember it, it's kind of like, you know, little pieces of you that go out there, little snapshots of your time and creativity and stuff like that. So another chance to express yourself. Yeah, and that's why I like it.